I believe in you, that's what he'll say. Nice and kind, leading cobalt ice. He's a blue, cute, and deadly little guy. Seeing through the fog, old gods he's slayed. Go7, 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 Go7. Go7, 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 Go7. Go7, king of the game. I believe in you, that's what he'll say. Nice and kind, leading cobalt ice. He's a blue, cute, and deadly little guy. Seeing through the fog, old gods he's slayed. Go7, 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 Go7. Go7, 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 Go7.
Is it working? Can you hear me? The penguin? He's back. The boy? Hello, hello, hello. It's been so long. It's been so long. Oh my gosh. Got a nice groovy music. Oh, it's just like good old times, huh? All right. I only got like an hour. We did have a new submitter. I think there's been other ones, but there was one that submitted very recently and stayed up late just to watch it, which is Merrick here. I did alter the name because I don't know. I've got standards. Now poor completionist is the opponent. Here we go. Loud and clear. I love it. Okay. Okay. I hope everyone's been well. I'm sure Advanced Wars by Web has been doing just fine in my absence. What on earth is going on with my screen capture? Why? Okay, well I thought everything was well and good. Everybody panic. It is like super zoomed in. How do we... is game display? Let's see what we can do. I want you guys to be able to see stuff. Whoa! Up, up, up. Nope, nope. There we go. Just make this fit. Please fit the screen. Thank you. Okay. Okay. I don't know how that happened. That's way better. Now you guys can actually see the details. Just lock that again. Who am I? I am Go7. I am the king of the penguins. Hello, hello. If you don't know who I am, I just play Advanced Wars by Web sometimes, and I'm known for Cobalt Ice. New streamer, it's true. You got entrenched entirely in the hiatus. Observer pain. Sometimes, yes. Big time, yeah, the sometimes is definitely in the quotations there. Yeah, you gotta support the little guy. That's me, I'm the little guy. Okay, okay, okay. So, I'm pretty sure... Oh, let's make Merrick... Well, no, Andy is Andy. I'm a big fan of Andy, so Andy gets to be Cobalt Ice. Merrick will be Yellow Comet. Are there new ones for me to choose? I guess it's just Yellow Comet. Okay. For those that might have forgotten, we choose Cobalt Ice and Yellow Comet because it's the most approachable for people that are colorblind. And that's why we've got this, or so I've been told. So we've stuck with that throughout this entire process. I like Andy. Andy's my fave. Andy's who I learned to play the game with back in the day. So I don't even know if I know this map. Quota, Iota, Redux? No, I know this map. I know this map. I haven't been out that long. Yeah. I recognize it. I recognize it. Okay, so we got double airport, triple base. That's a lot of units. The HQ is so far away from the bases. It does look like it could very easily turn into a base race. You kind of have that classic setup where the black boat can move off, and you're like, oh, look at this. Now I can accelerate my captures. And I imagine that's what both players are going to do, because accelerated captures are awesome. It just also then leaves your HQ extra vulnerable. You just show me Monty? Hello. This is the map from the RIP Elegatua game. Oh my gosh. I don't know how many people watching are actually going to be new players, but in Fog of War, the black boats are on these HQs to stop people from just blind rushing, like building it, like base skipping, building an APC, hopping an infantry and APC, and rushing the HQ to capture it before the opposing player can do anything if they were just kind of capturing in a more regular manner. So we put the black boats on those HQs in order to stop that. But of course, they can still move because Advanced Wars by Web only cares about the legal tiles you're moving to, not the ones you're moving from. Someone changed the meta? Stop people from doing that. I would never. Never. Yeah, but since Advanced Wars by Web only cares about legal tiles that your units move to, you can move this black boat off of your HQ and into the waters and then transport infantry, but since it cares about the tiles you're moving to, it can't move back onto the HQ. So once you step off, the black boat can never return. I don't tend to like the cheesy wins. It's true. It's true. Another fun fact about black boats is tanks can hit them. They do a little damage, but tanks can hit them. But mechs cannot. So that's the one thing I would wish would be a little bit different. I mean, there's nothing we can do about it. But if mechs could attack the black boats just to off mechs a tiny bit, I have a complaint about that. But that's another fun fact. What? I've been gone so long, contested bases are in Global League? Oh my god. Okay. That's a long time. But let's hop into this. Andy versus Kindle is a matchup you see a lot. Or at least back when I played, you would see a lot. Oh, people are not facing the right way. Hey, Andy, you need to face towards your opponents. There we go. How nice is that? And it tends to be that Kindle is advantaged in the early game because Kindle has a day-to-day and Andy doesn't. And then Andy gets advantaged in the mid-game when the supers come online and Andy's super's really, really strong. And then Kindle and Andy are both really good in the late game because Kindle starts getting a lot of cities and might be able to just one-shot all of Andy's things, but then Andy's also, using his super along with much stronger units now. So they both have their advantages they can use in the late game. It looks like they are going for a slightly different capture pattern here. You can see Merrick has double infantry going in this direction and doesn't have this airport being captured, where Andy over here has got this infantry going backwards rather than forwards. And we'll see how that plays out. Looks like we're going to have this infantry go over here to capture this airport. In general, for the capture phase, as long as you don't cannibalize your own capture route, and by that I mean as long as you don't have multiple infantry going for the same property for capturing, you should have the same end economy. as any other capture route. That's just the one thing you need to keep in mind. There might be some differences in like when your economy comes online, but for instance, if you get one city a turn earlier, but then that means you get another city a turn later, that ends up balancing out overall. And the differences you'll see is like maybe the person that got the city a turn earlier gets a unit out earlier than they would have been able to otherwise, but the other person like had a got a a city that's farther out captured earlier as like the balancing factor. You don't see many capture chains. Yeah, a capture chain is is when you can capture one city and then move directly to capturing another one. Like this is a capture chain right here, and that's tend to be considered prioritized in a capture route because it's getting more money online faster, efficiency-wise. But you can also just have capture routes set up with infantry walking multiple turns to get cities. Like, for instance, you might prioritize going down for this city because that can kind of move you forward over here, and that gives you triple options to go towards, which could go to this capture chain over here, which go bop, 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 or maybe you go down this way faster to get this, into this, into this. You got a few options. It looks like the capture chains are more in the corners. But yeah, those are all great options for how you want to play the opening, and you would... oh, you can see here that Andy has initiated the use of this black boat, so it was able to pick up this infantry, drop it off way down here. Look at how far that gets this infantry, which should get this money online really quickly. But now this HQ is not defended. It's a nice classic trade-off. And we also have Andy here going for double recon. I would not recommend this against Kindle specifically. If you're playing against someone that is not Kindle, then I love this as Andy, because you can often have your recon interrupt the capture, it gets hit, gets knocked down to like 1 or 2, and then it gets away and you can just heal it up for free. But Kindle will just kill your recon. If your recon runs forward and interrupts a capture, and then the Kindle tank comes onto that city and hits your recon's just dead, and that's not going to be cost effective. As you will disrupt, unless you're disrupting like a lot of economy, but most of the time you would be disrupting a city for maybe like 2 turns, which is like 2,000 in value, and you lose 4,000 in value. I mean, you do also injure an infantry, but you also lose an entire unit, and it's an early vehicle that you lose, which hits you in the tempo because now your opponent knows that you have less value in army in that region because you just lost it, and they have a tank right there. So very, very risky to be going for these early recon openers against a Kindle, because when you the 2 things that a recon does in Fog, of course, it scouts for you, which is great. But if you're scouting this early in the game and you don't have any like options available to you, it doesn't really matter what the recon's giving you information-wise. Like if the recon moves forward and it sees a tank and you say, "Great, I see a tank. What can I do about it?" "Oh, I just have a recon. There's nothing I can do." Then that information was useless to you at that stage of the game, just because you don't have any real options to work with it yet. So later in the game, the recons become really, really strong because you'll have an entire army that you can make decisions with the information that the recon gets you. But in the case right here, if these recons run into a tank, they can't do anything. If Kindle attacks one of Andy's like infantry that are capturing, the recon can't do anything. The tank will just, you know, get its free damage. So very risky to go for a double recon opener against the Kindle is what I'm saying, because of Kindle's extra firepower attacking from the cities, and that's the one thing you'd really want to be doing, most likely, unless you got like a really specific plan, is that the recon would be interrupting a capture early on, because the vision doesn't matter so much because you don't have anything you can do with it. Yeah, a tank is spotted. Now we do have a pretty early capture. That could pay dividends. It's day 8. usually around day 7, 8, or 9, someone will build an anti-air in order to deal with a copter. In this case, it looks like Kindle's just going to build a copter as the anti-copter thing. That's also fine. Obviously, when you build from these airports, you increase your unit count because you're still building from the other bases, right? So if you built, if this copter was an anti-air instead, then you go infantry, infantry, anti-air, and you build 3 units. But you build a copter, so you go infantry, 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 copter, and you get 4 units. And that, you know, of course, increases your unit count, which is really nice in all game modes, but especially nice in Fog because extra units can spot more. And can help address Defender's advantage. Or help grant Defender's advantage. Defender's advantage being that when you are defending a position, you have vision of that position, right? If you're an attacker, you need to contribute some units for getting vision on that position so you can then attack. Okay, so we can see the difference that's already happened with this black boat. The black boat's come over here and dropped off an infantry, got this city way faster than what Kindle got. Like, this one's not anywhere close to being captured, but it did come at a drawback because Andy didn't have like a surplus of infantry in this region in the capture route that they came up with. These cities are not captured, but Kindle already has this one and is starting to capture this one. So that means that this black boat dropping off here did not actually end up giving Andy an income advantage in this situation. Another thing to keep in mind, of course, is that comm towers do not give you income. So a really safe comm tower like this, that did not have to be prioritized. That could have been delayed for a really long time and sent that infantry down here to go for these captures instead. Would be an example of how I would change the route in order to get more money out of this kind of play. This comm tower is a little more dangerous, so it makes more sense to capture it quicker. I don't know if this map got changed or not. Ooh, look how gutsy this is. Does the tank cover? This tank does not cover, so that's a very dead infantry, most likely. Okay. Wow, wait. When did the recon move? Did the recon just move in here? Did I miss that? That is such a bold recon. Would not recommend. Move past the enemy lines to go into the forest. It does have a lot covering it, so maybe it will be fine. It'll be really fine if Kindle doesn't watch the replay. Some players are like that. Oh, trapped! Looks like he's gonna be fine. Oh, Kindle, no! Kindle didn't watch the replay! So, if Kindle had watched the replay, they would see the recon move past their infantry and stick in these woods. If you don't watch the replay, you don't get to see that unit moving past you, and it's just in invisible woods. Very important to watch those replays. In this case, it would have been a big difference. Obviously, because the recon would just kind of die, and when the recon died, the vision goes away and makes things more annoying. I mean, Andy did have a tank and a copter here ready, so Kindle might have lost a tank out of it. But it would have been a pretty bold move for Andy to go in. Watching the replay is cheating! No, 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 no! Very important! Very important to watch the replay. Back in the day, back when I was learning to play, there was the old version. There's 2 versions of the game that you could play. And the old version did not have that replay play-by-play movement. And what you could do is you could, and this was done to me at fairly high level, is on your turn you could switch to the old version of the game, make your moves so none of the replay actions got logged, and then you would swap back to the new version so that you could watch your opponent's turn, see where all their stuff moved, but your opponent would not be able to see what your stuff did. Yeah, ancient Go7. If that makes sense. Old version did not log these individual moves. It just like logged the end state. So if you did your moves in the old version, your opponent could not watch your play-by-play turn, but you can always swap back to the new version or the current version to watch what your opponent does if they're not swapping. Recon is so bold. It's hopping. We've got a huge Kindle. So that's a lot of infantry moving together. It has a little bit of support. The tank and copter. Oh my gosh. Don't recommend that kind of like scouting with the tank just out on the open like that with no direct support. There we go, there's the double anti-air. Oh my gosh, don't do that. Okay, especially in Fog, unless you have really good information on your opponent, do not lead your attacks with copters. It looks so tempting, right? Like, oh my gosh, if they have tanks, they can't touch me. I got 8 damage on an infantry, woo woo woo. The problem is copters die to anti-airs and other copters, and you don't know what's out there in the fog. And like the risk here of the risk versus reward, the reward is I did 8 damage to an infantry, all I did is risk an entire 9,000 value unit. Do not do that. Use your usually in Fog you want to use your copters to counter tanks. So the tanks attack you, your copter goes in, hits it, and then one of your tanks finishes off that tank, and you like kill it without taking any damage. And then your copter's guarded by a tank, which is really good because tanks crush anti-airs. But yeah, look at the danger. Up. Personally, right here, don't do this. I mean, attacking a copter is fine. What's not good is you're moving the tank next to a city that's guarded by a 2 health infantry. If Kindle kills this 2 health infantry, a tank can swing on to the city and absolutely crush your tank, potentially killing it. Do not do. If you're fighting Andy, do your best to not stand next to cities like that. It's going to be fine in this case because Kindle doesn't have enough stuff over here, but that could have been absolutely devastating where you lose an entire tank to do 1 damage to a copter. Okay, we got lots of copters coming on here. Andy loves copter fights, by the way, because as you saw right here, this copter came up, it hit this copter, and knocked it down to 2, right? So copters barely survive combat with other copters, but and the copters are really hard to repair. But Andy heals units, right? So if the opposing copter comes in, knocks you down to 2, knocks you down to 3, and then you can just pop your super and heal bloop, up to 7, up to 8. That copter's back in the fight, and you can completely turn the tables in the copter war. The other thing that's nice is that if there's a lot of copters are fighting, your opponent has to use 2 copters on 1 copter. The first copter does a ton of damage, right? It like knocks it down to 3, knocks it down to 2. Huge value. The second copter that has to finish that off, because you can just heal it, is overkilling you by a ton. Like, you only have 2 or 3 health and they're hitting you for like 7 or 8. So you kind of put your opponent in these like lose-lose situations where either they don't overkill your copters, in which case your copters heal up, or they do overkill your copters and they're really inefficient in the copter fight. Or if it's like Kindle, we can actually look at this Kindle power, see how good it is. Or if it's Kindle, Kindle can like pop a super and then just one-shot your copters and then you're not happy. Okay, let's see. Kindle uses the power here. This might be just because Kindle can use the power. That happens a lot. It's like C button, press button. Usually, I would recommend using the Kindle power when you can see some sort of advantage you can take from it. Like if there's an attack you can take from the city. Like for instance, this tank. If I could use the Kindle power, clear this infantry, and then use my tank to one-shot this tank, that'd be a great use of the power. The other damage it does, it's kind of negligible. You don't necessarily know how well your opponent's avoiding it. In this case, it looks like Andy did a pretty good job. Not very many units got hit by that power, which means it was kind of just thrown away. You like that strategy? Monkey see, monkey press. Yeah. Okay. Double anti-air. Let's go. It's weird that they both went this direction. There's a copter right there. Okay. I don't think we're going to see it this turn, but Andy has a lot of fun tricks. Tricks of the trade, tricks of the Andy trade. So what's really nice about Andy Super is that you can use it at any stage of the turn and be really happy. Because it gives you extra firepower and movement, it's great at the start. Because now all your units move farther and they hit harder and they kill your opponent's stuff. If you need more power, you can go in for attacks that are like questionable. Like maybe you take 5 damage on the counterattack and that gives you more charge. That's great. Now you just use Andy Super and you're back up to full. I'm twitching the... Oh no! I'm sorry, Twitch. I'm so sorry, Twitch. I'm in multi-stream now. Is there anything in the Twitch stuff? Andy is the ultimate test of monkey see, monkey press. That's true. And the Brave Recon, yeah. I mean... Sometimes your opponent just doesn't watch the replay and you get away with stuff like that. Oh, that's such a full Artie. Okay, Kindle looks like they're in a lot of trouble. You can tell just kind of like by the vision that the players have. You can also tell by unit count. If you're ending your turn and you're behind in unit count, that's not good. If you're ending your turn and you're behind in unit value, that's not good. You should be half a turn ahead if you're in equal state. Kindle currently has more money, but I don't think that's going to last very long. Boom. Oh, there we go. The Recon is now scouting the base. And he starts capturing the city. Another fun fact with Andy's Super, when you want to interrupt Andy capturing something, you have to get the unit, in this case it's infantry, to 4 or below. Otherwise, Andy can pop a Super, heal up from 5 to 10, and then hit capture and complete the capture. I wonder I. Oh, thank you, Mananek. Oh yeah, I mean, this is definitely a threat on Kindle's HQ. And it should be noted that a lot of people have blind spots for infantry that are capturing in range of other captures, because they kind of just automatically think, oh, that infantry is capturing, it's going to complete that capture. It doesn't have to complete that capture. It can walk and start capturing this HQ. Even top players will make that kind of unconscious assumption. So Kindle does a good job of clearing that city. I've been gone a long time, yeah. Okay, so we got a push on both sides by Kindle. Usually, I mean, that can be great. I've definitely had success with that, especially if you can use that with getting charged for powers. But typically, you kind of want to attack on one side and fall back on the other. Attack on the side you're stronger on and fall back on the side you're weaker on. And typically, kind of like the weaker side starts building up infantry, and then the stronger side gets all the vehicles, and then the vehicles front shift to where the infantry are, so you can get a successful push that gets captures and more money. Okay, here we go. We got hyper upgrade. Woo! We heal. Oh, did Andy have to lose something? Okay. Andy really should not have attacked with this 2 health tank, because of course with Andy super that's not a 2 health tank, that's a 7 health tank. So really not great to lose that. Oop. And also, of course, do your best not to stand on cities against Kindle if you can avoid it. Yeah, that's an example. Well, I guess in this case you kind of have to because of where the copter moved. Pop. Smack. Down to 1. Hit that tank. The infantry. Not quite sure what that tank was doing. Just wanted to see what was in the bushes, I guess. He has returned! Hey, Shadow! Yeah, I saw you did the sack to gain power, but you didn't have to sacrifice that unit to get the power. And you're blocking the way to go for the HQ cap. I wouldn't worry about blocking until you're on the HQ. Just because when you're blocking, your units are really exposed. Like this tank's just kind of sitting on the shoals. It's gonna get smacked. So typically you don't go for blocks until you're actually on the HQ, and the block gets you a lot of value. Okay, so it looks like Kindle will be able to most likely defend on this front, but it's getting absolutely crushed on this other front. Smack, smack. Well, I guess we're low on tanks. Huh. Yeah, I think this guy probably got for the 7 health, but that's okay. Pop, pop. Starts capturing the HQ. Tries to block. These units are too low. They can't block. But all is not lost if you can be like... All is not lost with his HQ capture. If Andy can just like throw an ungodly number of units at Kindle next turn. Although Kindle's like so far behind, it doesn't really matter. An Urban Blight, okay. It's down to 2. The infantry's just gone. Yeah. So Kindle saves the HQ. Good job, Kindle. I really like to move. I like keeping the black boat here and then just moving the black boat to guarantee a spot to attack from. That was good. Okay, and Kindle got the city back. I mean, Kindle's doing a pretty good job getting back into this game for sure. Many a game has been lost by someone going for an HQ cap that just like loses the game. So you gotta be careful about that kind of thing. This goes on for another 30 days? Oh my gosh, you're so far ahead. Look at that unit count difference. Well, I mean, the Kindle counterattack's looking pretty sick. Okay, Kindle's in the build nothing but tanks mode. Something you do need in all Advance Wars games is a healthy infantry count, so you can actually, you know, get more income from winning battles. If you only have tanks, then you never gain anything from winning a fight, other than like killing some units, of course. But something that can be really funny to do is if someone just builds nothing but tanks and attacks you, and they have no infantry on that front, you can just ditch the front. You can just be like, yeah, whatever, sure, and have all of your units move away, and then just have a bunch of tanks moving around, unable to do anything. In this case, Kindle does still have a few infantry, so that would not be possible in this game. This recon has been super sneaky. Yeah, the recon did kill that infantry, and then I guess Kindle probably assumed the recon just moved. But it sees everything. We're going for the super right away. Can be good. As I said, it's good at any stage in the turn. Usually people go for some attacks that maybe they'll get some counterattack damage on themselves to heal up. I don't know if that's necessarily going to happen in this turn. Obviously we're going to hit this anti-air and then hit the copter. So yeah, I think it's fine when the super was used. Pop! I mean, Kindle is in a lot of trouble here. Recon still sees it all. You've had surprise recons after the game ends on Dragons in the Dark. Oh, true. Urban Blight. Beep beep beep. Ooh, nice hit on the medium tank. But again, like, Andy doesn't... The nice thing about Andy is you don't have to worry about that too much. Like, oh no, it was a hit. I'll repair it for one turn. I'll go in and stack with my other medium tank, and I'll get my super up pretty soon. We're at the late game, so charge really starts building up very quickly. Oh, we got a bomber too. Andy loves bombers. Anti-airs do not one-shot bombers unless they have a lot of extra power. Or extra firepower. So Andy loves that about bombers. They get hit for a lot, which gives Andy a lot of charge, and then Andy uses the super and heals them up. Yeah, a little... I mean, sometimes you can get away with artillery in the open in Fog of War if you've got really good planning. I agree that Fluffy would say there's not enough anti-air in this game. But yeah, Andy here is going for the... I'm just going to build a bunch of copters, and those copters are going to serve as my... as my anti-air force, essentially. And that can work well, unless your opponent is really smart with their anti-airs, and then they build like 2 anti-airs and a bunch of copters to fight your copters, and their anti-airs just eat up all of your units. Urban Blight. Boom, boom, boom. Yeah, like attacks like that with anti-air are amazing. Kills the copter, no risk to itself. It just builds up so much value. Black boat. Oh, we've got the fighter. Fighters can one-shot bombers. With the comm towers. The fighter's unknown. However, I mean, the fighter is incredibly expensive. This fighter right now is a fifth of Kindle's army. Although, I mean, with so many copters and bomber, I mean, it's gotta be good. Oh, it's moving up here, huh? Anti-air spots an copter. Oh, the black boat sunk. Oh my gosh! So bold with the bomber. Okay, it makes some sense to be bold with the bomber if you've got the hyper upgrade, because you're like, aha, now an anti-air can't one-shot this. Of course, now we see the fighter over here. Although I think maybe with the extra defense bonus from the power, this might be fine. Unless the fighter can attack for the city, of course. I guess we'll find out. No, it was not fine, it's gone! Oh no! Kindle's doing a great job of staying alive. And he's trying to go for these captures. So, okay. Okay. In this situation, I would get off these captures. Like, if you get off of here and put this infantry or this infantry on there, you'll capture in 2 turns. If you capture and then join, it's going to take you 3 turns. And you go down a unit count. Pop, pop. This fighter's going to be... Wait, you're going to need an anti-air for the fighter. There we go. Oh, an APC! And a T-copter! Okay, that's a lot of well, that's right, these captures aren't... This one will come through. These 2 are coming through, that's good. We're gonna... Down here we're gonna start running into the problem of heavy tanks, like neo tanks and medium tanks and mega tanks. They're cool. They're cool. But in Fog, they have a vision radius of 1. And that can be a really big problem. Because, for instance, if Kindle had an infantry here, or an APC, or a recon here, or here, and you can't see it because you have a vision radius of 1, you can't actually fight because you'll take a step and you'll get trapped. They do need some support with them. In this case, there's not enough stuff over here for Kindle that the medium things can indeed like defend these captures. What? Probably should have saved the city. Yeah. Okay. Well, it just starts capturing it and no backup. Look at that fighter go! Now Andy also loves fighters because it's another unit that's really hard to kill and costs a lot. Andy loves expensive units. So many infantry have joined to their death here. Kindle's almost caught up in unit count, which is amazing. Okay. Andy's still really far ahead in economy here, though. So should be doing well. These all get interrupted. Really good job by Kindle to just like stay in this game. Fighter was a great choice. Yeah, I'm not quite sure. I assume this was trying to go here and hit, but this is a great example of why the medium tank can't do stuff all on its own. It's now... That was a really questionable... I guess he got this city, which is nice. Andy is getting mighty close to winning by capture. If you get about about 2/3 of the properties on the map, you'll win by capture. And he's almost there. Ooh, the medium tank survived? Whoa. Okay, fighter moves back. And he starts going for that city. Okay, this city's gonna get captured, and he would have to take some of this stuff back first before winning by capture is going to be really possible. So one thing you have to oh my gosh, look at that. The anti-air is here to help though. You do need to, one thing you need to consider when you have this like really large income lead and you're feeling like you're not getting anywhere, what's usually happening is you're just losing trades horribly. So usually when you have a really large income lead, you're going to be getting a much stronger army than your opponent over time because you can just invest more due to having more money. But if every turn you're like losing 12,000 more in value than your opponent, you're never actually going to like you know, overtake them in that army value and win the fight. And if that continues on too long and they start taking the properties back because of it, things can go downhill really, really fast. And what that means is sometimes you've got poison properties and you shouldn't be fighting for them, right? If you spend 50,000 worth of units to take this city for 3 turns, you'll be like, what was that investment? I got a 6,000 income, like a 6,000 value swing out of having this property for 3 turns, but I had lost 50,000 in units. 50,000 is probably more than you usually lose, but like maybe you lost 20,000 or 15,000 in the fight. Then it'd be, that was a poison property, I shouldn't have gone for that. Or I should have just let that one go. Or wait a while to build up a stronger attack force and take it in a bigger action. Okay, Kindle has overtaken, or is now like saying it's an even game unit count here. Very impressive. The fighter is down. I repeat, the fighter is down. Okay, this comm tower is under threat. Andy would love it if Kindle had less firepower so units live longer. A nice strategy of running away, yeah, Fluffy. Yeah, the okay, so I saw someone in the chat say overextending into 2 vehicle move range. So if you want to look at what it means to overextend, and what they mean by 2 vehicle move range is that you build the vehicle and then in 2 turns it can like reach the fight. And that's kind of how we think of how you overextend is in vehicle move range, specifically with tanks because they're just the most common unit. So if what's a great spot? So if there was a tank here, in 1 turn it goes 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. In 2 turns it goes 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. So it goes in like this kind of region. And if my opponent moves into that, and let's say it takes them 3 or 4 turns to get there, that activates this unit, right? So if they're fighting right outside that range, I don't have that tank in the fight. But if they move into that range, I do have that tank. So they're giving me more units in that fight. I love counting to 6 too. Counting to 6 is all you do in Advanced Wars. And what that can mean huge effects, right? If I have a tank that's just sitting on this city or sitting on the plains, and they move in with their tank and overextend with it and hit my tank, but they don't even kill my tank, right? They take some damage on their tank, they hurt my tank. My tank goes and sits on this city, and I get my other tank activated and it strikes in. So in the fight, they hit me, and in the fight, I net +1 tank. Because they moved closer, so now my reinforcement can act sooner. And I got more fighting force just because of them overextending. Oh, the black bow's gone. And in that sense, yeah, it makes overextending very, very deadly. Because the person who is overextending feels like they're winning. They feel like, oh my gosh, I'm chasing them down, I'm taking out their units, but as they do that, they activate more of their opponent's units and they move farther away from their own units. So it kind of hits you doubly hard. And for that reason, you oftentimes see the fighting happening exactly on the dividing line, so that neither person is overextending. Andy Super, let's go! Comm Tower, let's get it. Down goes the Neo tank. So like that was a really big overextension. Now this is just within a single turn of the base. Where like if it, so for instance, if this medium tank had gone after this tank instead, it would be 2 turns away from the base. Now it's 1 turn in range of the base. And that means that units built last turn can attack it, where otherwise, units built last turn could have moved towards it, which is not nearly as good. And Kindle looks super dead here. The nice thing for Kindle is that this front is still kind of going fine. Kindle does resign. GG. Hull generated. Loss. Rejoin 3 infantry. But GG. I love Andy. The Neo tank did have really good value. I didn't check the calendar. Oh yeah. You can definitely see when you win the game, but you're down, you've lost more than you've killed. That means you had a very large income lead. Do I have? I've got 6 minutes. Man, it's been a while. I will quickly look at this game. Super 5125, Broken Lute. What is this game? It's Sasha versus Von Bolt. I love Sasha versus Von Bolt. It's such a fun matchup. I can't do a Sasha versus Von Bolt justice right now. When I play, I forget. Everyone does that. Don't worry, Chris. You're not playing like a dum-dum. You had great moves in that game. I didn't mean to be. I'm sorry if I came across overly critical there. Don't worry, everyone has made all of these mistakes. There's only 5. I can't do. Well, I'll quickly look to see if. Oh, there was early recons. Okay, we'll have to do that. We'll do that one next time. My favorite tier 1 CO in Fog of War, it's Sturm, and in Standard, it's Sasha. In High Funds, in High Funds, it's probably Olaf. I won't be able to stream on a regular basis, but I'll try and get more streams out for sure. Especially, I can stream for fairly regularly in the winter break. Now, Sturm is so fun. What was my last game played? The last a lash fight? I haven't played Andy. I played like one Andy game. I think I lost that one. I haven't played Andy in forever. I also like Rachel. Rachel's good. Live League. I did Max versus Sasha in Live League. What? I don't remember this game at all. What is this game? Is this the one where there's like a bajillion copters? And we're like super fighting over the corners? You can tell I'm respecting the max player because I didn't. Usually I would definitely have like a recon aggressive play on this map, but there's our first copter. I must be respecting the max player and going in a more defensive mindset because I just built a tank in response to their tank. Fight for the center! Yeah, we go for the first strike with the tank. It's guarded by the copter on build. Let's go! See, that's an example of overextending kind of stuff, right? Like, I can fight here because I'm in production range. Their copter couldn't do anything when they built. Lots of roads. Yeah, well. Oh, this is also standard. This is also standard. If it was High Funds, the High Funds version of this map, I would be building recons and going like full-on aggression. This is standard. I'm used to the High Funds version. Yeah, so I wouldn't have as much recon play. Look at this, and then we can go smack, and then we can just build another copter. Or use this copter to defend my copter, and it's just a free kill. Is that what we do? Boom, look at that! How fun is that? And then all the infantry are covered. This copter's covering these infantry. This one's... ah. And then this copter's free to do whatever it wants, except please don't die to this copter. It's gonna go back up here. Right, because Max wants... And Max might still do this. Max can like go in with this copter and then have this copter cover. But if that happens, then this copter is able to stop all of the captures up here. That is what happens. But now these captures can't happen because the copter stops them. Boop. Pop. Pop. We get our market crash. No power for you. Oh, I don't have much money at all. Oh no. Maybe power for you. That might have needed an extra turn of saving up some cash there. Advanced Wars bucks to spend. But now, Max did a good job of setting that up so that Max can like go for those captures. Like this copter is currently overloaded, and both of my copters are guarded. And now my copter's overloaded. This little tank, I don't have the cash to repair it. Ooh, look at that. I ditched the copter fight. Or maybe, actually probably what happens is I go over here, hit here, and build a copter. So that I can fight from the reinforcement square. Stop the capture. Huge infantry fight amongst the copter fight. Yeah, like that. And Max gets the power here, but that just lets him hit an infantry. And also completely one-shot this copter for sure. Looks like I get this city, which is great. We stop that capture. Love it. Ugh, gosh, that was hideous. I don't know if it was really worth going in for that swing. I guess what's nice is Max didn't build a replacement copter, but the anti-air is coming. Ooh, I double base skipped for this? Ugh. It's just a hideous double base skip. Okay, the anti-air can't reach. We build a tank to deal with the anti-air. Looks like we're just gonna overload this copter. Both of my... Okay, my copters kind of cover each other. Okay, Max is super running infantry up here. It does go for the smackdown here. That's actually probably really good for me. Falls back, protects this copter on build. I like it, I like it. I kill this infantry to kill off this. This is the only infantry they have in the center, so if it goes down, we're going to be happy. Market crash to get the extra firepower. Guarantee the kill. And we had enough money because we saved up a little bit that we actually wiped the entire bar. Okay, I mean, at this point it's looking super GG. My income lead is going to be outrageous. No, maybe not. Maybe down here they can do something? Oh no, the copter reaches. It's going to be fine. Market crash! Fall back, build a copter. Surround the anti-air. Oh no! We failed the roll! They do get that city. That's pretty big news for him. That is unfortunately in the range of my anti-air. Dunk, dunk. We stop that capture. Looks like I'm gonna go and try and take this back. Also stopping them from stepping on it. Okay, this looks like this was a live game. Oh, look at my time! 2 minutes! Classic Go7 play. They do break through and hit my anti-air. Which is rather rude. Look at all those copters in the middle. Let's fall back and repair, go for a copter swing. Build a copter. They don't have any anti-airs left and I've got like 3k more a turn. So I should be good to go. I ran out of time. Uh-oh. This is fine. Oh, no, it's not. My tank doesn't reach. I thought it was fine because my copter and tank could strike, but no. They're gonna get the city from me. Things are starting to look grim. I do get this hit. I guess that does mean my copters are kind of winning down here. You stop that city. Okay. We're winning in the middle. They have a lot at the top. Okay, they don't have anything to answer my copter spam down here, but I do lose the city, which is like super unfortunate. And they get to use their power after I use my power. That's really bad. Okay. I'm losing that income lead here. Hit the copter, surround the tank. I assume. Stop this capture just barely. Go double copter, double base skip. Okay. That copter lives, but I'm really failing all these rolls. Okay, the tank is caught. Do I even kill it though? Oh my gosh. Market crash. Hit the copter. Kill off the infantry. Okay, we're probably gonna win these cities now. So many copters. The middle is heavily contested. The unit count's starting to go heavily in my favor. I like to see that. That was really good for me. Okay, that's also really good for me. Okay, now the copter trades are just very positive for me, which is good. We got both of those cities. We have a nice, strong central force. So many low health units, but that can be fine. As you saw with like this tank that went overextended, you can just kind of surround it and then they can't move away. I had 17 seconds left on that turn. My time management started becoming better. We go for the market crash. We're going to go for the chip damage, interrupt the capture. I'm kind of happy with my interrupts in this game, considering it's a live game. Bop! All these fights in airport range, absolutely brutal for everyone involved. There is this anti-air. Do I have a tank? I do have a tank, okay. It's a little injured right now though. Okay, their defense down here is looking really lacking, so I imagine I just kind of like walk forward and take these cities. Take out the anti-air, or I mean the copter. Block with the 1 health copter, run out of time in the turn, classic me. Oh no, this goes down, but... Oh no, they can hit my tank. Oh my gosh. Clear the way, hit the tank. I assume I stopped this capture. Yes, I do. Okay, things are looking really good up here. I ran out of time in the turn again. As you can see in live, I run out of time all the time. Anti-air doesn't have a great spot to hit me from. I guess it only has to worry about my anti-air hitting it. But I think I'm trying to set up a surround on it. Oh no, I didn't. I just killed the infantry and brought the tank in. Okay. Recon doing its recon job. Stopping the city. They do a join cap, but I can interrupt that as well. smack, smack. Anti-air's at 1. Okay. Kill my poor anti-air. I have nothing down here. I can just walk over and take these. I probably didn't want to lose too much presence in the center though, because I'm trying to just contest these cities so much. Oh wow, look at that. I didn't charge in, I just like built up a little bit there. I mean, any turn that we're not fighting is going to be good for me, because I do make 2,000 more a turn. Okay, trying to position. I do so many base skips. The copter swarms are real. I mean, I'm in a great spot to take these central cities. I do go to defend up here. They do charge in, although I think I'm okay defending this. Yeah, the anti-air even reaches. Yeah, I mean, I think the game's about to end here. My counterattack's going to be amazing. They were probably hoping I would just run out of time. But I think the attacks are just too easy to go for that I'm not going to. Oh, look at the bomber! Oh, it's so, like, yeah. The bomber is so sick. GG. Oh, and it's also day 30. That's right. They're gonna run out of time, they're not gonna be able to get a capture. Bomber guarantees that I can stop this. Wow, GG. Because if I build a copter, because if they can capture one more city, we'll be equal in properties. And the copter can't reach this next turn, but a bomber can. GG. That was brutal. I must have lost so many units. Look at that, I lost 30,000 more units in value. Alright. That was a quick little bonus. I'm sure we saw that before in the past. You only got the war for 1 month. Over 30 copters. Oh my gosh. Yeah, no, there was a lot of copters dying in that game. I hope everyone enjoyed. I guess I'll let people know if there's when the next one's coming. Probably saw it live. It's true. That's true. Oh, here is your apple. You guys haven't had an apple in forever. So here you go. Thanks for watching, and have a good night.
It's Go7, king of the penguins. Of all the penguins, he is king. It's Go7, king of the penguins. Being king of the penguins, that's his thing.